Ag Week Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
As February comes to a close, how will the weather fare? Here's Dawn with our Agri-weather outlook.
General outlook over the next couple of weeks, which is mostly into the month of March. Lo and behold, the weather starting to act a little bit like spring already, and it does appear that much of the northern Great Plains, upper Midwest, corn bean belt, northern wheat belt, it's looking like spring will come fairly early this year. Now that is good and bad. It does leave concerns about expanding drought. When you warm things up quickly, you also start drying things up quickly. Now, March is coming, and March weather can be quite volatile. It can be very stormy, and there likely will be some big storms, even in the next couple of weeks. But location is everything, and whether or not those storms are able to generate heavy precipitation in the right areas. We'll see. Right now, I'm not necessarily seeing that much of that. Here's the pattern right now, and we've got the polar jet stream going pretty far north, which keeps frigid weather locked way in up the north. We are going to experience a pretty strong cold front early in the week, which will drive some very cold weather, but it doesn't look like it's going to last very long, and it's only going to be freezing. We'll leave the really frigid stuff behind, and it looks like by the middle of this week, we're back to not that cold in the northern plains. The cold weather will not penetrate very much down south, although this activity could lead to some stormy weather, which I'll show you in just a moment. By the end of the week, very mild weather will be building northward once again into the northern plains. This little narrow belt of orange numbers, I think, will be readings getting up around or above 70 degrees. And some of these will be even perhaps into the 70s, approaching 80. Really hot weather will stay way down in the lower latitudes for the time being. The second week, which becomes the first full week of March, we're still seeing jet stream pretty far north. I do anticipate some troughiness along the west coast. And the caveat to that, I think you will probably see the potential for quite a bit of wet weather along the west coast, although this is the rainy season, February and March out in California. They're certainly getting more than their share this year. That system may eventually eject a weather system out into the plains. Again, the caveat though, this is March weather, and March weather is volatile, and it's also difficult to predict long term. So we'll have to keep that in mind. But as we go through about the 9th, 10th of March, it looks like overall, except for maybe the northern Rockies and the Northwest, fairly mild weather pattern. Okay, this first week, getting us into the first couple of days of March, wet along the west coast. There will be some snow coming out into the plains, but the heaviest system will be here, and it's going to be on the eastern end of the Court Belt, this snow trailing off to not that heavy. And then the second full week of March is right now looking drier for the northern plains region, a little stormy in the south, and the west coast in particular looks wet. Northern plains, not so much.